as you'll hear, I'm not proud of this stuff. For example, number one, I was a bully. I was a bully. I bullied a native boy who was in my grade at school. He was smaller than me, and he was gay, which in those days was like, those were the days of gay bashing, which was literally physically attacking gay people in public places. It was those. I was not into that, but on this one occasion, when I was like 13, I was 13 years old. I didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground. I didn't know how to be a man. That was the thing. I didn't know how to be a man. There were really great men, fathers of my friends, and for the most part were great. But it wasn't like having my own father being great to me or for me. So I just missed that voice of someone telling me what to do, which was something that made sense to do, and following through. In other words, I lacked the masculine energy. And therefore, when I was 13, I was developing sexually, and which I did early. And then ironically, I was taller than my peers for a couple of years, which I lorded over them. And then later on, oh, that's all I'm going to grow in this lifetime. How old I've been almost the same size when I was like 12, I think. So yeah. Anyway, I heard this story, and at this school, well, there was another boy, and there was this scandal because these guys had been caught having oral sex, I guess. I don't know exactly the details. And the one boy was quite a lot bigger than me. And he was also the friend of some really good friends of mine, a family. He was a family friend of the same family that I was a friend of. So I didn't touch that guy, and I didn't hassle him. Not to mention he was a lot bigger than me. I think he was in a grade older too. So no, I picked on the smaller guy, and I was just a real asshole to that guy. Really bad. Lording it over someone because I was so, I guess I was so threatened. And it would be much truer to say homo threatened as homophobic. I guess that boy whose name was, I think his name was Alan, and then I was a real a-hole to him for a certain period of time. And then we weren't aware. Anyway. Many years later, when I was in my late 20s, I think, early 30s maybe, to my horror, I saw that guy on TV. Or I think it was actually his voice on the radio. I think he was being interviewed on the radio. I'm pretty sure it was the same guy because it sounded exactly like his voice. So he mentions that he had been bullied in high school, mercilessly or some word like that. He had carried that with him for like 20 years. I regretted that so much. I tried to reach out to him. I tried to find him. If I could make an amend, I would, but I can't find him. The bully dynamic, we didn't realize later the importance of the bystander and the role of the bystander. And actually, as I recall, the other students in the class witnessed what I was doing because our teacher was just often absent. The teacher actually was an alcoholic. The teacher was going to his office and having a shot of whatever, scotch, I think, during the day. He was a good teacher, though. And the other students didn't like interrupt me or didn't like intervene, but nor did they give me much support. They were quite neutral about me bullying this other kid. So I stopped. After a while, I just stopped. And there was this feeling or belief in my mind about that being masculine was about physically overpowering or dominating, belittling, dominating, I'd say. And physically dominating. It was a power trip. I remember that. I remember the intoxication. So it wasn't only just innocent. It wasn't only innocent homo-threatened behavior. It was also aggression on my part. I guess I could say latent aggression, which I'd found a target, found a convenient target. So I believe I was channeling my latent aggression, which was mostly, let's say, operationalized through sexuality in my mind. A bit of a toxic mix, or a bit toxic, somewhat toxic, going on in my teenage mind. Yeah. So that's number 50, I think. Doing it now.